For 1971, Dodge Charger presents a real threat to competition with its completely unique approach to providing cars that suit the hardtop buyer's needs and desires, and at 1970 Coronet prices. The Charger is a hardtop and a hardtop only, with no style-killing compromises with the sedan or wagons, all on a 115-inch wheelbase. This marketing approach satisfies three different types of buyers without compromising styling or design. Chargers have a low performance look. Coronet sedans are designed for family roominess. And Coronet wagons are sized to haul more cargo than competition.
With Ford's Torino 500, one body style is used for both hardtops and sedans. It's a compromise design. Hardtop buyers suffer with sedan-type styling. Sedan buyers suffer with hardtop roominess. Both have a 117-inch wheelbase.
Chevelle Malibu has two different wheelbases, but the same basic style for two-door and four-door models, a compromise. And the two-door has only a 112-inch wheelbase.
For 1971, Ford has discontinued the Falcon and Fairlane names. Torino is now the low line, and Torino 500 the high line. The Torino 500 two-door hardtop lines up with a Charger.
The Chevelle Malibu Sport Coupe, a two-door hardtop, also lines up against the Charger, but with a 3-inch shorter wheelbase than the Charger 115-inch.
Look at the difference in front styling between the Charger and Torino 500 two-door hardtops. Charger, all new. Torino, a carryover styling.
And the same is true when you compare Charger with the Malibu Sport Coupe.
Charger's loop bumper gives the front a performance look, and the rugged bumper protects all around.
Torino 500's bumper protects below the grille only, leaving the fenders completely unprotected.
Chevelle Malibu also protects below the grille only, with none of the wraparound protection of Charger. Also, Chevelle has only single headlights compared with duals for Charger and Torino.
Charger has the look of performance all over it. Every curve and every line transmits a look of power and motion.
Torino 500's carryover styling has only gradual body contours. Looks very tame by comparison.
And Chevelle doesn't have the look that excites, the Charger look.
Charger's rear bumper is twice as deep as Torino's, and it gives more protection. And Charger's taillights are mounted within the bumper. Torino's taillights are more vulnerable above.
Chevelle's bumper doesn't compare with Charger either, although Chevelle does mount the taillights in the bumpers.
Charger's recessed door handles lift to open and have a smooth styling appearance. They also contribute to safety by not projecting out from the car.
Both Torino and Chevelle have door handles that are not recessed, and they require that a thumb button be depressed to open the door.
To lock Charger's door, you merely depress the inside door push button and close the door. A warning buzzer reminds you to remove the ignition key first. Another point, that button is easy to reach when seated in Charger.
To lock Torino's door, you have to depress the inside button, then push and hold the outside button while closing the door. Torino's inside button is tough to reach when seated in the car. Chevelle works like Charger.
Charger's sporty armrests are molded into the door trim panels, a smoothly contoured design. Torino's design is more like you'd expect on a sedan than a hardtop.
And here you can compare Charger's armrests with Chevelle's, an old design they've used for several years, bulky and boxy looking. Also notice that the door handle could be grasped accidentally.
Look at the rich wood grain trim on Charger's instrument panel, and how plain both the Torino 500 and Chevelle panels look by comparison.
Charger's cluster design is superior because it groups all instruments and controls within the cluster.
Compare Charger with Torino. On Torino, headlight and wiper controls and the radio are spread out beneath the cluster, and there's no alternator gauge.
And here compare Charger with Chevelle. Notice that Chevelle has placed the heater and radio controls in the middle of the dash. Could be tough for a shorter person to reach.
When Charger's ashtray is closed, it conceals the cigarette lighter. No protruding knob like you see in Torino and in Malibu.
Charger's rotary glove box latch is easy to use and it keeps the door closed. Torino has a push-button latch that's less positive. Glove box doors that pop open can be annoying. Malibu also uses a rotary latch like Charger.
Anyone in the front seat can reach both of Charger's vent controls at the center of the panel. Torino's right vent control is out of the driver's reach, and so is Malibu's right vent control.
Charger's new low-profile head restraints curve down at the back, giving protection to rear seat occupants.
Torino has squared-off head restraints which leave a gap above the seat back that exposes the support shaft to rear seat passengers. Malibu is like Charger.
Charger's rear seat comfort advantage shows up in the height of the seat back. It gives you several inches more back support than you get in either Torino or Malibu.
Charger has more total headroom, legroom, and shoulder room than Torino or Malibu for both front and rear seats.
Getting into Charger's rear seat is easier, too, because it is easier to release the push button and fold the seat back down. In Torino, you reach down with one hand to release the lever and reach up with the other hand to fold the seat back. Rather awkward. Chevelle has the release low on the seat back, as in Torino.
Here's an angle that's revealing. Shows how Charger's door gives you 9 inches more entrance room than Torino's. Makes it much easier getting in or out of either seat.
And Charger's door opens 6 inches wider than Chevelle Malibu.
Both Charger and Torino offer racing-styled mirrors. But Charger's mirror is larger, giving the driver a wider and safer view to the rear. Chevelle offers racing mirrors with the SS option only.
Charger's flush door latch design shows extra care in engineering details. Torino's latch works okay, but it sticks out into the doorway and is more apt to catch on something.
And here you can compare the Charger door latch with that of Chevelle.
Here's another revelation. Torino still uses the gas tank for the floor of the trunk. This carryover from Falcon has been much criticized by consumer magazines for being unsafe.
Charger's electronic voltage regulator is an engineering advance that's standard on every model. There are no moving parts to fail. It eliminates 95% of the problems encountered with mechanical regulators used in both Torino and Malibu.
High steel towers cover Torino coil springs and shock absorbers, and both Torino and Malibu have crowded engine compartments. It's more difficult to change spark plugs and service the engines.
Charger's torsion bar springs and shock absorbers require less space, so there's more room for engine servicing.
Whether you buy a Charger 6, a Torino 6, or a Malibu 6, you get an engine with 145 horsepower. It's a standoff.
With standard V8s, it's a different story. Charger, 230 horsepower. Torino, 210 horsepower. Malibu, 200 horsepower. All use regular gas.
Charger offers 2 optional regular gas V8 engines, one with 275 horsepower, the other with 300. Torino offers 1, rated at 240 horsepower. Malibu offers 3, one with 245 horsepower, one with 270 horsepower, and a third with 300 horsepower. Charger easily wins the power with economy battle and its low pollution benefits.
Charger brakes have 59.1 square inches more brake lining than Torino's, a real big advantage. The extra lining provides more gripping surface, reduces heat buildup.
And Charger has 40 square inches more brake lining area than Chevelle Malibu.
All Chargers with a standard 318 V8, except the low-priced coupe, have F78 tires. This means they put a half-inch more rubber on the road than the E78 tires you get with Torino's standard V8 and with Malibu's standard V8. And that means more traction.
What's more, Charger's rear track, that's the important driving wheels, is 2 inches wider than Torino's and over 2 inches wider than Malibu's. And that means better roadability and traction.
And for all-around ride, comfort, and handling control, Charger's torsion bar leaf spring suspension is rated tops. It's more responsive in turns, more stable on turnpikes, and smoother over rough roads than the coil leaf suspension used on Torino and the full coil suspension on Malibu.
For all-around maneuverability, you'll find that Charger turns in a 2-foot smaller circle on either Torino or Malibu, enough to keep you from going over the curb on a narrow street turnaround.
For power steering, Torino still uses an add-on power booster in the steering linkage. Hoses and linkage are exposed to the road below.
With extra care and engineering, Charger gets a compact integral power unit that's on the steering gear above. Hoses and connectors are more protected. Malibu uses a similar system.
In gas tank capacities, Charger is a winner with 21 gallons against Torino's 20 gallons and Malibu's 19 gallons.
Only Charger offers the optional cassette-type tape player and recorder.
Only Charger offers an all-vinyl interior as standard. All vinyl is optional at extra cost in both Torino and Malibu.
Yes, it's the all-new Charger, not Torino or Chevelle, that gives you all-new styling and more luxurious interiors for 1971.
It's the all-new Charger that gives you more interior roominess, more comfortable seat backs, and curved low-profile head restraints.
The all-new Charger leads the way in engineering with the electronic regulator, a more powerful standard V8, and more powerful optional V8s that burn regular gas. gas.
The all-new Charger is ahead of Torino with bigger brakes, torsion bar suspension, and maneuverability that lets you turn in a 2-foot smaller circle.
Add to that Charger's unique threat, a series of sporty 115-inch wheelbase hardtops that were designed from the beginning to be hardtops and only hardtops. With all this, it's easy to see why Charger is the perfect car for hardtop buyers in 1971.